And housed in these walls are a bunch of elderly former businessmen who are retired, who love to play a good game of shuffleboard. And there is one universal linking vehicle they all love. The Albanys. In fact, in order to buy an Albany, you have to first show your Medicare card to make sure you're old enough. And with that in mind, you know exactly what type of car their newest model is going to be. I'll throw those preconceptions right out that 5th-story window. This is going to need a bit of an explanation. This is the V-STR. It's a hopped-up 4-door sedan with the beating heart of a sports car, specifically a monstrous, supercharged V8 from a Coquette. That means over 600 horsepower in a 4-door luxury sedan with all that power going to the rear wheels. And that means it's an oversteer lunatic. Oh, this is fun. It's got massive rear tires, but there's so much supercharger torque. You can just let go whenever you want. And it just handles that massive 4,500-pound curb weight beautifully. I mean, this drifts better than some sports cars. Look at this. The speed when you get on the straights. Good God. That's 0 to 60 in under 4 seconds at a top speed of 202. In an Albany! What is this sorcery? But there's more to the V-STR4 than just raw straight-line speed and incredible drifting capabilities. It's way more than that. You see, they didn't just slap a massive engine on it and call it a day. No, no, no. They have a clever computer control system, they have fancy magnetic suspension, massive 13-inch brakes, full racing slicks, functional rear wing lip spoiler. And all that means, when you want to, you can really attack some corners. I mean, you wouldn't expect it. This is a very brutal track. Heck, it's not even used by most motorsports anymore in this layout. And yet, it's tackling it with so much ease. I'm not being gentle here. And it's just... that's all you got? That's all you got? I can take this all day. It's absolutely brilliant to drive. It's not quite a full-on proper driver's car. It has some fancy computer control, but it's a real challenge to get its weight around, but it's a good challenge. It's not scary or difficult. It's just proper good fun. But is it as good as this? This is a benefactor. It also has a 600 horsepower V12 in this one, rear-wheel drive luxury 4-door sedan. And it too costs around the same price range. They both go 200 miles an hour, they both have fancy suspension and clever computers. And if this is me on a racetrack with two very similar cars, then I gotta do a hot lap. So I need to knuckle down and get going. and the results were surprising. The American muscle car was exactly 4 seconds a lap faster. That's absurd. So what we have here is an American four-door sedan that can't just take the fight to the Germans on the straights. It can take them through the turns as well in any way. It can drift. It can take serious corners. It can accelerate. It makes a hell of a noise. And I think it looks absolutely brilliant. I said earlier that the Komoda was the best sports sedan I had ever driven. And this puts it a run for its money. It's not necessarily the best, but it's certainly comparable to the Komoda. And coming from me, you don't get any higher praise than that.